Hello and welcome. This is Last Judgment. Your host, the eye of the hand. The eye sees everything. Today, we are going to talk about the shortest day on record in 2020. For those of you who may not know, or those of you who may know Matthew 24:22, this should be quite self-evident. If those days had not been cut short, no one would survive. But for the sake of the elect, those days will be shortened. Do you see what's on the screen in front of you? Do I really have to explain this to you? Because I'm going to say this. I'm getting a little sick and tired of people who have eyes to see and ears to hear are not using them. And when you tell somebody about this and you prove it beyond the reason of a doubt, they still don't want to believe it. That's okay. It's bothersome, but it's okay. Now, if people can't see what our government and other governments around the world are getting ready to do, you got a problem, man. Don't you understand? They're already doing a social credit scoring system on us. They're taking up after China right now. And it's almost like America is acting like China is the world leader, because they're letting China do things first and then they're following suit after. China just announced it's got a new supercomputer it's a quantum computer that's 10 trillion times faster than our own. So, all this information that's coming out is a lot, right? It's overwhelming, right? You don't need to pay attention to all that stuff. We know that artificial intelligence will not fully come to stand on its own 2 feet and have access to everything on its own. We know we're not going that far. Okay? It's proven. I can only do nothing but prove. I am bringing to you what God has been commanding of me to do. There's going to be much, much more. For those of you who don't know who I am, those of you who just stumble upon my fucking channel, you will understand what might appear to be madness initially. You will understand the clarification that's within the process that I'm doing. I've literally written a book. I've literally taken at least 200 verses, 300 verses, and I've put them all in correct orders, pictures and everything else to prove that it's what it's talking about. Now, we could get into the topic of the earth, taking the earth's vibrations through ourselves like a conduit and transferring that energy into a different type of energy, which goes to our magnetosphere, of course, but that's only positive energy. The world is experiencing a fucking rundown of negative energy everywhere. So what's it gonna do? It's gonna weaken our magnetosphere. It's gonna allow for debris to come in, which is going to bring me to video number 2. CERN, the Large Hadron Collider, they know something. They're building these things all over the place. And it's not to strengthen the magnetosphere first. What it is planned for are multiple things for this device. But the main important thing that it has is its own magnetosphere, its own force field that will expand around the city. Look at Geneva, Switzerland. Do you think that it's a coincidence that they happen to put that thing right next to all the agricultural things and all the animals? No, it's not an accident. It's not a coincidence. They did that on purpose because that's an area that they want to preserve and stay safe at. So when the debris do come through the meteor, our magnetosphere, At least they have protection. But what about the rest of the people that are going to flee to the mountains and everything else? You have no clue what's really taking place on this earth, out in space, and within our own bodies. You have no clue, people. And I can wake you up. I can show you what you need to see. I can show you the power that you possess inside your mind, that little nub that they're calcifying through the water supply with the fluoride in your toothpaste. Okay? They don't want you using your abilities. They don't want you fucking using telekinesis and moving objects around. Because therefore, you no longer need the government. You are now your own power. You are what God says. You are all gods, but will die like mere mortals, for you've lost your way. You have become disconnected from what is rightfully yours. It is the Spirit of God. And he said, no man shall know the day or the hour, except for God, the Spirit of God. And that Spirit of God is in every man. And we are connected to God through the Spirit. The only way to figure out the day and the hour, like I have, is by using and discerning through the Spirit. Now I'm going to drop a gem on you, because the knowledge and wisdom that I asked for through the Spirit gave me my answer of the day and the hour. And I ain't telling anybody. Do you know why? Because it's what God talks about, being the treasure stored up, more valuable than gold and silver or anything else on the earth. It's worth more than anything physical. It's because I have something that the rest of the world does not. But see, people that have false dates, they are quick and eager to tell. But the one who has it for sure will keep that piece of jewel hidden from the rest of the world until it happens. Do you know why? Because none of you are going to listen. None of you are going to wake up. I don't care. There's only going to be 144,000 that are going to assume their powers. They're going to do what everybody else ain't doing. Okay? And if you don't believe me, go back a couple of videos on my channel and I'm going to show you how your energy works and how you can move objects, how you can connect to it, and how you connect to it. I explain it. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to leave you with this little piece that's on the screen. I think I've said enough. I don't need to say more.